So I just recorded a bunch of crap, and you could hear too much noise in the background from a lot of different sources, and I don't know. I used to take the time to edit videos and stuff, and while I don't have the energy to do that, the least I could do is not post a video that's like actively full of crap, but at the same time, whatever. I kept the videos so that I can again hear myself talking back to myself. It was mostly me complaining anyway and being a complainer. Life's hard sometimes. A lot of things are not controllable. It's just like that sometimes. Mostly, I don't know, that transitioning is the least bit realistic. I have to spend all my time taking care of people, and I cannot imagine getting surgeries and being, not just one time, but multiple times, being in recovery for a couple of weeks on end. Like, how do you do that with a wife who's special needs and it requires 24/7 care? How do you do that with, like, that? It's just impossible. It's as impossible as us being able to move to another country. We're poor. They would never let us in. Even though we'd be a billion trillion times happier in another country. It doesn't even have to be one of my top countries. It doesn't even have to be, I mean, we could just go somewhere average and it would still be better than here. Heck, even Saudi Arabia has universal healthcare. I don't know. I feel very hopeless. Basically, I was describing that our guild has had a string of thieves, so of course we've had to create more restrictions and difficulties to get to all the good parts because of this, and our guild is extremely generous. We pay for repairs, we pay for pots and flasks and stuff like that for guildies. We're super generous, and someone's willing to, for a couple thousand gold, like not even for like 50,000 gold, but for like 2,000 gold, get themselves kicked out of a guild that would give them anything they need on their character or their alts. It's just the stupidest thing. Like, it makes no sense. Do the math. It's logically, in the long run, what are you going to get more out of? A very active guild that actively carries people through stuff, or stealing a couple of items to auction house and then realizing, oh shit, you have nothing now? Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's so stupid. I was frustrated because people are idiots saying a pandemic that's killed hundreds of thousands of people is fake, refusing to wear a mask because magically they'll never get COVID, and they couldn't possibly be asymptomatic for a couple of weeks before they start to show symptoms and spreading the contagious illness everywhere. Definitely not. Definitely all of the hundreds of thousands of people dying from it is definitely nothing to do with people spreading it all over the place. And people who are immunocompromised, like my spouse, even people who aren't immunocompromised are getting horrible, horrible illness from it and having like repercussions that bodily medically will follow them for the rest of their lives. It's freaking Department of Human Services is dumb. But it's not necessarily their fault. They didn't pass the stupid change. The freaking president did. They're just trying to figure out ways to deal with it. I have to deal with a doctor's appointment later today to try to get a letter that says that essentially, since my spouse requires 24/7 care and I can't get enough aid hours because I'm married to my spouse and they consider my spouse to have a free aid, and a spouse is the only person in the world who can't be paid to be an aid, that, I'm exempt for taking care of a fully disabled person, because DHS considers that because of the stupid bill that freaking stupid president passed, if you don't work 20 hours or more, you're not eligible even though you're dirt poor. Except I can't, because my spouse would literally probably die. She would definitely at least end up in the hospital. So now I have to do a whole bunch of ring around. And, they gave me 4 days. 4 days to get a doctor's appointment and get an updated letter, because I have one, but it's 2 years old, and they want an updated one. Four days to magically get it all back. It would have been 5 days, except it was Memorial Weekend, but when I called to ask if I could turn it in next week, they were like, nope. 4 days is plenty, apparently. Because apparently they've never had to deal with a doctor who has full appointments and stuff, and is dealing with the pandemic, and has other things that they need to be doing besides this. Like saving people's lives. But at the same time, we have to eat. Peaches is eligible for food stamps, but not if she lives with me, unless I'm also eligible for food stamps, because we're married. Also, I'm not allowed to earn $800 or more in a month, even if I could get a job. Like, the whole thing's just stupid. My spouse missed a bunch of medication, so she's been in angry mode and yelling and defensive on everything. My girlfriend keeps having panic attacks. I'm just shut down. I think I've reached my threshold of emotional tolerance. Just doing to do. Waiting for time to pass. And something to be different. I've gotten to play like an hour and a half of Greymore, and that's it. So that sucks. I just don't have time for shit. Certainly not for reflecting on trans issues. Doesn't matter whether or not I'm a guy. It's not realistic. Even if it's not realistic financially, it's not realistic time-wise. To become a man, you have to be taken care of, not the one constantly giving care. That's not how the world works in my experience. Me transitioning is as realistic as me getting into another country that actually would have universal health care. It's just not realistic. Anyway, today's the 27th. So it's been basically a week since I recorded. Because I just haven't had time. My car's having issues. Broke down on the way from long distance driving. I did manage to get it running again, but I'm gonna have to deal with that. Today I gotta hope that it'll start because I have to get this other letter out to DHS. You know, the normal letter that you send in. My dad hasn't talked to me. One of my Australian friends hasn't gotten back to me, and I'm worried because it's flaming bush season and COVID's out. When people disappear, now you start to wonder. I mean, no one's gonna tell their gamer friends if they died. It just is what it is. And I'm not supposed to say that, but it is. There's nothing to do but just keep trying. I didn't mean to re-record a bunch of this again. I was gonna get up and take out the mail and do the dishes and go walk down and try to get the letter that I need to send out. Because that's what I should be doing. Instead, I'm just sitting here trying to feel, and all I can feel is surface stuff. I'm tired. Oh well. I tried. It is what it is.